Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Mai, and today's video is going to be this storybook treehouse, which is probably the dreamiest build that I have ever built. And I built it in the world of Granite Falls, which if you don't know, that is the world that came with Outdoor Retreat. And I just felt like the style of this build would really work there, but since it is a vacation world, then you can't actually live on this lot. But if you want, you could definitely place it in a residential. I would probably recommend Copperdale, which is the world that came with high school years. But yeah, we have already placed some trees, and I am just trying to get the layout of the actual kind of living quarters. And I placed some fences around the base of the trees you probably saw earlier, because I will be removing them so that it's easier to furnish. And yeah, I guess just to remember where the trees are supposed to go, I decided to just place a little marker. And we have two levels for this tree house. One is going to be kind of an entry level. It is just going to have a couple of hobby items. It is going to have the mailbox and the garbage can, and I am just kind of preparing that right now. And then the second level is going to be our actual living area, and both spaces are just so beautiful, and I'm really proud of them, and I honestly just can't wait to hear what you guys think of it. I am very eager to hear your guys' comments. And this does end up having kind of just a studio apartment feel. I only fit in like just a bed in the open living space, and then a bathroom, and I don't know, just like a lot of fun activities around, which I'm really glad that I got to fit in a lot of hobby items. Honestly, whenever we end up getting fairies in the game, I think this would probably be a perfect place for a fairy to live. I really hope we get something like that soon. Of course, now that the gameplay trailer for the new expansion pack has come out, I am feeling a little bit more excited about it. I am feeling a little bit more curious about, I don't know, just what it's all gonna look like, and I'm excited to try it. But yeah, I think fairies, at some point, we gotta get them. It's gonna be so fun to like fly around, and it's gonna be really fun to do Create a Sim for that. I'm usually not very excited about Create a Sim. I think when I was younger, when I started playing Sims, I loved Create a Sim because I wasn't a very strong builder, but as I've gotten older and more into building, Create a Sim has just kind of fallen to the back of my mind. I'd probably prefer building and then gameplay and then Create a Sim. Create a Sim just sometimes feels like, oh, it's just like a tedious step to actually get to the good part. And yeah, this was also really fun to kind of roof and decide the exterior colors. The second, like the living space area, so the livable level, let's call it, I mostly just have that kind of rooftop patio kind of space. So I only had to roof the kind of access point, which is a little octagon room that kind of matches the entry level octagon room. And I decided to use a trim from For Rent, which has that little lace pattern, which really adds to the whole just like storybook feeling. And of course what's it called? Oh, it's kind of like weathered, the straw. It's a straw roof. Yep, I remember the word for straw. But yeah, and then just the straw roof to really make it feel like a storybook. And I don't actually end up using any of the storybook nursery items. Actually, that's not true. That is not true. I use the bookshelf from the storybook nursery kit, and then I do actually end up using a lot of items from the artist studio kit though. I place both the like wood shop table and the and the easel. So there's a lot of activities to do. I also end up placing like a chess table, and yeah, this would probably be a perfect space for two people. You can also leave it as a vacation rental and then just kind of, I don't know, this will be your little getaway. But I do love the front door that I used. It is the one from Cottage Living, and it has a little butterfly on top and a little reef, and it is so whimsical and dreamy, and I love it so much. That also definitely added to the whimsical fairy feel. And a lot of items from Cottage Living, a lot of items from the Horse Ranch expansion pack, just anything that really emphasized on, I don't know, outdoor spaces and that kind of cottagecore style. And I don't know, that was also just a lot of fun because it's probably my favorite aesthetic. And I got to use those little wisteria branches that came with Cottage Living, and I tend to not use them very often just because they're a little bit hard for me to use. I find that they're a little bit repetitive, like there's not enough variety, or at least as much as I would like. So yeah, it's not an item that I use too often, but I did get to use it for this, and I love when that happens. But yeah, just here, another cottagecore door. Even the fencing is all cottagecore. The cottage living door, and the windows are all cottage living. Even the actual straw roof is from cottage living. And you'll see even the interior, now that I'm like thinking about it, kind of picturing it in my head, there are a lot of cottage living items. And I feel like it's kind of fitting. And yeah, adding a lot of windows around, obviously the ones with the shutters, they kind of match the front door, and everything made of wood because, I mean, it's a tree house, and I at some point would love to make like a larger tree house with more bedrooms, make it like a family tree house, kind of like the Swiss Family Robinson, which if you don't know what that is, you've aged me greatly. And I think that would be a lot of fun. It would be a bit of a bigger project. This treehouse idea was actually suggested by my mom. I do want to give her a shout out because I know that she's watching. She is my biggest supporter and I love her a lot. And thank you so much for this treehouse idea because, I mean, I don't know, it was definitely a big project and it was something that had been on my mind for a very long time, but I was kind of like scared of it. Like it was a little bit daunting to do, and I was like, oh, I don't know if I'll do it right and how I'm gonna do it. But yeah, when she suggested it, I was like, you know what, for you, I'll do it. And it turned out so beautiful. So thank you, Mom, and everybody say thank you to her as well. And yeah, we're working on the interior now, working on the furnishing, starting off with the kitchen just right at the entryway. And I really love that placement. I think it ended up looking perfect. And of course, I had to use the cottage living table with that adorable little tablecloth that has like the little leaves and the little animals on them. I think they look adorable. And for the curtains, I decided to use two curtains. One is this base game one that's kind of draped, and the other one is from, I think is from Blooming Rooms, the vines on the window, and I just kind of sized them down based on the window size, and together they looked super cute, and I don't know, I really liked it. It felt a little bit custom. And these chairs are from Outdoor Retreat, those ones that are, you know, that they look like logs. I love them, and they look really cute here. So I placed those for the dining table. So there's 3 chairs, and that does mean that if you want to have a friend over, there's room for all 3 people to sit there. And over here, I struggled a lot with picking the bed. I really did like this one from Outdoor Retreat, which has kind of like the log element to it, which felt very fitting for a treehouse, but the colors just weren't really working for me. Like there aren't a lot of very good swatches. I am still waiting for them to do like a nice little refresh of the Outdoor Retreat game pack, I think it was, because I don't know, they've done the one for like Spot A, and I think that the Outdoor Retreat pack desperately needs one. So yeah, there weren't a lot of really good swatches in that bed, so I do end up changing it to the cottage living one, of course, but it does look really nice, and I love how it looks with these chairs. You'll see me change it later and it'll all fit in your head. And yeah, I just decided to place these 2 little armchairs. There's no TV in this house because where would the electricity come from? But yeah, there's no TV, so really the only entertainment you have is the chess table, the easel, the wood working table, the bookshelf. I do end up putting a typewriter, and I mean, I don't know, whatever other items I place. I do end up placing a little like bonfire space, so that also works. I think it would have also been nice to place a stereo, but I think I forgot to do that. But yeah, here I am kind of switching through all of the variations that I had until I figure out, you know what? No, I love the cottage living bed, and I love how it works with those 2 chairs from Discovery University, which I have been using a lot. I don't know if I've been using it too much, but I've definitely been using them a lot. Let me know what you guys think about that. I know that they're not the most popular chairs, but to me, they are everything. But yeah, I don't know. I think they look cute and I like their swatches. And I love the cottage living little like vanity dresser space, or dresser item. It fit perfectly on that diagonal wall, so it looked cute. It was like it was made for that. And I like the little entryway that I made as well, with just those little hooks with the jacket hanging and the hat, and that little table from Laundry Day. Looks super, super sweet. And here we have a little office space. Here's where I place the storybook nursery kit bookshelf, and the the little desk is actually from Werewolves, and I love that desk so much. I want to put it in practically every space. It is gorgeous and I love it, and I'm so glad that it exists. And that is where I do place the typewriter. And over here in this little corner, I mean, there's not really much space for anything, so I just place a couple of plants. Two of them are going to be base game, and then that big one is, of course, cottage living. I really had I didn't even notice how many cottage living items I placed until like rewatching this now. I mean, the entire kitchen is cottage living, so kind of crazy. And over here we are going to be working on the bathroom, and it's a bit of a funny shape. We do fit in, you know, shower, toilet, and a sink. And I mean, it ends up looking simple but nice. I do actually end up using the mirror from Werewolves because it's very like woodsy and cute, and it had a perfect matching swatch with that sink, which I think the sink is from Outdoor Retreat. And yeah, we have this big open shower space. Not a lot of privacy in this bathroom, but I mean, you know, there will be one person in here at a time, or you're just gonna get real close and personal with whoever's in there with you. And up here, this is just kind of a landing space to go out onto the rooftop patio. So I actually just put a couple of little storage items that came with the Artist Studio kit. You will see me place that. On this patio, we do end up placing a little telescope, a couple of planters around, because I imagine that the people here like growing their own food. And if I'm being completely honest, they probably like fishing for their own food in that little creek at the back as well, which I actually love. I love this world so much, and I love that little, I love the lot. I love how it looks out onto that little creek. I think it looks gorgeous. And when you're in gameplay, you can hear the water, and it's so peaceful. I love the little easel facing towards it. I think it's so perfect, and I can't, I don't know, I'm trying to imagine myself at that easel trying to paint the water, because, oh, it is so dreamy out here. And here's why I remember that there is going to be a tree in the middle of this, because I was like, oh, what am I going to do with this big open space? And then I remember the whole point of the video is that there's going to be a massive tree. So I put it through just briefly to make sure that everything was kind of fitting nicely around it. And I just kind of place a little bench leaning against it. I do switch it to a log bench that I think came with Werewolves, but yeah, it looks really cute. It's just a nice little detail to add. And over here, I decided that this is kind of gonna be like the backyard space. So I place a little grill and I place a picnic bench. And because I didn't want to size up this tree just to have a little variety, I just decided to place kind of a hill at the bottom. I used the terrain edit, I edited the terrain underneath that specific tree just to lift it up so that the branches don't clip into the items as much. And you can't even really tell, and it looks great, and it adds a little bit of variety. Here's where I find that bench, and I place it in front of the door as well, or next to the door. And this space was a little bit awkward. I ended up just placing a bench and a couple of plants, just a little bit of a comforting space outside. I mean, not just a mossy log, but actually a place to sit and read, and it's a little bit cozy. But yeah, this space ends up looking really cute, and it's very useful. Oh yeah, I also remembered that I placed a picnic basket in the kitchen in post-production, and yeah, you can kind of use that. I've never actually used the picnic basket for some reason, but I'm pretty sure that you can kind of pack it with some food, and then you can take it out to maybe eat by the river, or I mean, if you're using it in another world, yeah, you can just it's kind of like a weird little storage item. But yeah, over here is the entryway area. I'm just all over the place today, you guys. But over here is the entryway area, and I am just going to be placing a couple of rocks around just to kind of frame the tree. I end up doing this in every space that has the tree sticking out. Not so much with the overgrown little low-lying pale flowers, which are my favorite landscaping piece, but at least with the rocks, just to kind of frame it, just so that it's not super awkward. And over here I place the fire pit, which is probably a huge fire hazard to have a fire pit in a treehouse, because everything is so flammable. But you know what, it's The Sims and it looks cute, and I wanted to just add another little item for your Sims to, I don't know, do stuff. And here's where I end up placing the mossy log on the rooftop patio as well. I really love all of these spaces. I think that they're so cute and whimsical, and I really wish that I could play with them or that I could actually have them in real life. Although it probably would be a pain to maintain. I don't know if that is just my old cynical self or if I am just, I don't know, I'm just in my practical mindset lately. I don't know if you guys have seen Nobody Wants This, that new show on Netflix with Kristen Bell and I think it's Adam Brody. And I was watching it and I loved it. I'm a hopeless romantic at heart, I think, and I thought it was really cute and it was so great. But then at the end, I don't want to spoil anything for anybody that hasn't seen it. But I don't know, it didn't feel logical and practical to me the way it ended. And I don't know if I'm just turning into a cynic, or my old age and experience has just made me a little bit harsher with reality. But yeah, maybe I've lost a little bit of my whimsy. And this actually, building on Sims, is how I revisit it, because it's, I can defy gravity. I can make a whole functioning house living in the trees. This would be a great place to just be a hermit. And I mean, because yeah, who's going to want to climb that big ladder to get into your house and disturb your peace? No one, unless it's kind of like a Rapunzel situation. Oh, it would be so cute to make Rapunzel and Flynn Rider and have them live here. Oh, always at the end of my videos I start to get a little bit, not delusional, but sure, a little bit delusional. I just start talking nonsense. But yeah, we landscaped the rest of the lot and it looks great. I'm actually really surprised that I managed to pull that off so effortlessly, at least on camera. But here we have our screenshots, and there really aren't that many individual spaces to see, and it was also really hard to take the screenshots, so we don't have that many. Just take it all in, and if you'd like to download this from the gallery, you can find it under my name, maiplaysthesims, and it's probably easier to find it under the hashtag if you try finding it under the hashtag. But yeah, here we have our entryway level. I did add a lot of outdoor lights because I mean, you're gonna have to see in this place. And here we have our little entryway into our house and our little yard. I just love the way that it all turned out. I think that there's a lot of cute little details. There you can see the picnic basket that I added and a little tea kettle as well. And yeah, the tree is definitely in the way, but it does look cute. Oh yeah, and I added a guitar in here, so there's a lot of different activities for your Sims to do and stay busy. This place is really perfect for a nice little getaway. And here we have our office space with that typewriter. Oh, I can't even imagine what it would be like to just write in that space. Oh my goodness, that would be a dream come true. And here is our bathroom, nice and cozy, very open. Feels like a sauna almost. And here we have our upstairs landing with all of your art supplies that you can use at this very, very full art space. It's quite stacked if you ask me, but this is going to be the last room that we see, and I really hope that you enjoyed this whimsical build as much as I did. Bye buds, and thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss any future videos, comment, and share with your friends. Talk to y'all soon. Bye!